Okay, we are now live. So hello and welcome in to this week's webinar, everyone. If you've just joined us, please say hello in the chat. Let us know that you're here while we wait for more students to join us for this session. So hello, Ritin. Hello, OnePlus.
OnePlus 60. Hi, Try.
Hi, Try.
Everyone.
Welcome in. If you would like to speak to everyone, you can change your chat settings to all panelists and attendees. That will let everyone see your answers, so we can all share our answers together. So welcome in. Let me just say a quick hello from me. I'm Jamie. I'm here on behalf of IELTSonlinetest.com. I'll be hosting the webinar today, and we are very fortunate to be joined by our presenter, Annalie. Hello, Annalie.
Hi, Jamie. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Please say hello. Tell us where you're from.
Welcome in.
Hello from Kazakhstan. Wow.
Hi there. Hi, Indrani. Welcome in. So today, Annalie will be guiding us through a very common IELTS speaking topic on culture and leisure. We'll also include a bit of information on describing people as well, another very common IELTS topic. So hopefully you'll find this useful if you're planning to take the speaking test in the near future. You can chat to us using the chat function throughout the presentation. You can ask questions, you can give answers as well, and you can also ask more general questions using the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. So feel free to talk to us, say hello. Hi, Shangyu, welcome from Taiwan. Hello, Daniel from Israel, welcome in.
Peace and love to you too, Daniel.
Yep.
Bombay, wow, China.
Excellent.
Hyderabad, fantastic, great mix.
Yeah, it's nice to see everyone here. Just before we begin, I can let you know that the recording for this presentation will be up on our Facebook page next week. So if you do want to re-watch the presentation, you'll be able to find it on our Facebook page. I'll put the link to that in the chat in a moment. So I think, guys, what do you think? Are we ready to start? Hello, Nikunj. Yep.
Ready to go? Yeah. Hi, Surav. Hello. Good. Hi. Lots from India, Vietnam. That's great.
Yeah, so yes, totally. All right.
Totally. Caroline's totally ready to go. So let's go.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much, Annalie. I'll hand over to you. Cheers.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good luck, by the way, if you have your test coming up, particularly your speaking test. We're going to be looking at all three parts of the speaking today. Okay, and some useful language and some useful tips for those three areas. Okay. So some of the common phrases that you need to use, talking about activities, also talking about people, and some useful language for the part 3 as well. Okay, so let's have a look at speaking part 1 first of all. So what can you tell me about the first part of the speaking test? Can anyone tell me what it consists of, how long it is? Okay, so yeah, it's the introduction. The questions are a little bit simpler. It's a little bit longer than that. It's 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. Very good, that's right. Okay, yeah, and yeah, so it's a short introduction just to get you, speaking English. Then you are always asked on 3 sets of questions. Okay, so you're going to have 3 topics that you're going to have to talk about in the part 1. They're all questions about yourself, possibly about your culture. You don't have to really give opinions in the part 1. And as Daz said, we're looking at 4 to 5 minutes, 5 minutes maximum for the part 1. Okay, so very common topic that comes up a lot in part 1, part 2 as well, is talking about the kinds of activities that you like doing. Okay, so we're going to look at some ways of talking about that. Okay, so what kind of questions do you think an examiner might ask you in the part one about leisure time, free time, hobbies? Let's brainstorm some questions. Any ideas? Yeah. Okay, thinking about hobbies particularly, what kind of questions might you be asked? Okay, I like that. What do you do when you get bored? Very good, Samani. Okay, what else can give me a full question? Okay, yeah, very good. What do you do in your free time? Do you enjoy sports? Okay, what do you like to do? At the weekends, something like that. Good. Okay, talking about game shows, reading, sports. Okay, very good. Good range of questions there. Okay. So let's have a look at some particular hobbies that you might be asked about or you might talk about, and then we can generate some questions. So if we look at the first picture, what hobby are we looking at there? What particular leisure time activity might you be doing there? Okay, good. So photography, okay, taking selfies, okay, very good. And spending time with family as well, very nice. So what kind of questions do you think the examiner might ask you related to that? If you said that one of your hobbies was photography. Oh, that's very nice. Hi, again, capturing the moment. Very nice language. Very good. Okay, family get together. How often? Very common. Okay, do you like taking pictures? Photography is quite a common one on its own, actually. Okay, any other questions you could think of that the examiner might ask you? Okay, stick with photography for the moment. Okay, very nice, Pooja. Where did you take your favorite picture? Yeah, you might have to talk about a picture that you really like. Okay, very good. Shika, do you like taking pictures of people or nature or landscapes? Okay, good. Okay, so what leisure time activity are we looking at in the second picture? Okay, very good. Reading, and again, that's quite a common topic itself. So what kind of questions do you think the examiner might ask you about reading? Okay, very nice, Faiz. What genre, what type of book do you like to read? What was the last book you read? Okay, very good. Do you love reading books, Fan? Okay, very nice ones there. Okay, what do you like to do near the beach? That's a good one. I like that one, yeah. Okay. All right, what are we looking at here in the third picture? Okay. Watching TV or maybe watching movies on TV, DVDs. Very nice. And a couch potato. It's actually with a U. It's a couch potato, but that's a very nice one. Wasting time. How do you like to waste time? Very good. Okay, good. What do you do when you get bored? What TV programs are popular in your country, William? What's your favorite show, Surav? Very good. Okay. What kind of movies do you like? These are all really good, very common questions that you get asked. Okay. What about the last one? What are we looking at here? Okay, that's a very nice one. Van, do you prefer to watch movies at home or at the theater? Okay, good. So what kind of questions? Okay, do you play football? What's your favorite sport? Okay, very good. Do you play sports, Alpha? Very nice. Okay, yeah, indulging. What kind of games do you like to play? Okay, are you currently part of a team, Caroline? That's very nice. Good. Okay. And what's your favorite sport? Okay, so a lot of good range of questions are coming up. Very common topics, very common questions. So, you know, it's good to prepare and have some good vocabulary for sports, for any kind of leisure activity that you like to do. Okay, also things like reading and films, photographs, they do come up themselves as specific topics. So it's always very good to have a good range of vocabulary related to those topics. Okay, so you talking about leisure activities, but also talking about a whole range of questions in the part 1 and part 2 is, what do you like and dislike? Okay, it's very common. What do you like and dislike about your job? What do you like and dislike about your hometown? And it's very boring, basic vocabulary just to say, I like, I don't like. So it's much better to have some good colloquial expressions to talk about these areas. Okay. So imagine you were asked about these. So just tell everybody your feelings about these activities. So do you like taking photographs? Just try and, if you add attendees, it's quite good if everybody can see everybody's ideas. Okay, yes, a lot. Okay. Give me a bit of a longer answer. Okay, you like to capture pictures of your family, Shika, that's nice. Okay, good. So giving reasons, Samani, that is helpful as well. Okay. All right. Yes, sort of mental outlet. What about reading? Okay. That's very nice, Narendra. I absolutely love it. Okay, definitely. How do we feel about reading? Okay, he's a voracious reader. That's fantastic vocabulary. That's wonderful. Okay, we got that a couple of times. Okay, gate to new worlds, Daniel. Beautiful. Really, really lovely. Finish a book a week. Very good. Okay, how about watching TV or watching DVDs? How do we feel about that? Okay, very nice. 1+ fiction. Science fiction, that's really good vocabulary. Okay, being a couch potato, it's relaxing, yes, okay. All right, Arakan's bored with the TV. I agree with you there, Arakan. Okay, big fan of action movies, and that's very good. Comedy shows, okay, we're getting some really, really good vocabulary here, okay. And what about sport? How do you feel about playing sport, maybe watching sport? They can ask you about both. Okay, yes, good point, Sarav. Lots of people watch YouTube rather than watching TV these days. Okay, it's thrilling, Yan. Very nice, good exercise, AJ. Unwinding, written, very good. Okay, keeps you healthy. Okay, yes, 2 birds with 1 stone. Fires is on fire today with his vocabulary. Very good. Okay, so let's have a look at some specific phrases that you can use. So we've got 2 columns. We've got the likes and the dislikes. I'm going to give you some phrases. You just tell me if it means that you like something or that you dislike something. Okay, Diep, very nice. My forte, that's very good. So if you say, I'm quite keen on something, what would you feel? Okay, very good, Caroline. That's definitely a like. Maybe not a very strong like, but it's definitely a like. Okay, how about the next one? Okay, that's another good expression, dear, to be into something. Yeah, okay, very much a dislike. Okay, it's pointless. And how about this one? How do we feel about that? Yes, okay, definitely. Very strong dislike as well. Okay. How about the next one? Okay, yes, very good. Relaxing is definitely a positive adjective there. So using this expression, I find doing this, and then an adjective, very nice way of constructing your expression there. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really keen on. That's another very good one. Okay, I'm not a big fan of. Okay, dislike. Very, very common spoken expression to talk about being a big fan of or not really being a big fan of. Okay, how about this one? Yeah, good. So you're unwinding, another way of saying that you're relaxing. Very good expression there. That's right, Daniel. You can say it isn't my cup of tea. That is a really good spoken expression. If you're not into something, if you don't like something, not my cup of tea. Okay. Okay, very good. I'm really into is quite a strong like. And if something is just a waste of time, Exactly, then it's a dislike. Okay, so good range of expressions there, and we also had some very good expressions in the chat as well. Some a bit stronger, some, you know, a bit more in the middle if you don't have a very strong feeling one way or the other. Okay, so we're looking quite a lot at relaxing there. So can you tell me in the chat some of the things you like to do to relax using some of those positive expressions? Or some of the ones that we looked at. Give me a sentence so that we can see the use. Okay, give me a lot of independent words, but we really want to use the expressions here. You know, I'm keen on, I find something. Okay, very nice, Bola. I find listening to music really relaxing. Okay, calms my nerves, Faiz. That's very, very nice. Okay, I like to unwind by taking a walk, Gagan. Very good. Okay, allows me to unwind. Painting is very nice. Okay. Okay, you can say chill. Very good. Yeah, I like to chill with my friends, something like that. I'm into watching sports, Yen. Very good. Okay, really nice expressions there. And how about some of the things that you don't like doing? Tell us what you don't like doing. Again, use some of these expressions that we've got here or some others that you feel pretty certain about. Okay, Nick, bookworm, very nice expression, excellent. Okay, Jim's not my cup of tea. Watching TV phase is an absolute waste of time. Totally agree with you. I'm not a big fan of eggs. I like it. Okay, I was never good at my workplace. Okay, very good. Okay, I like to let my hair down at the end of the busy week by going to the pub. Very nice. Oh, that's, sorry, that was you, Jamie. I was about to congratulate you on your English there. I don't waste time in front of the idiot box written. Excellent. I like that. I'm not a big fan of social media also. Okay, really, really nice expressions there. So, you know, it's going to come up a lot, likes and dislikes. So really try and vary your expressions there. Remember, one of the key aspects of the marking criteria for vocabulary is having a range of expressions and not repeating the same words. Okay. All right, very good. So let's move on now to talk about the activities and have a look at some more expressions. So it's always good to have some really good adjectives, really strong adjectives. You don't want to use those basic ones like good, bad, interesting, beautiful. You know, they're used too much. Try and get some more individual ones, okay? All right. So if we had a look at this, what activity are we looking at there? Apart from possibly killing yourself. Okay. Yeah, mountain biking, I think we're looking at there particularly. So give me some, okay, risk taking, very nice. What kind of adjectives could you use to describe this extreme sport? Exactly, Daniel, very good. Okay, thrilling, Pooja, very nice. Extremely risky, hazardous. Okay, we're not liking the mountain biking very much here. Fabulous, okay, adventurous, very good, very good. Yes, overwhelming. It looks pretty overwhelming, that one. Okay, very good. Adrenaline pumping phrase, very nice. Okay, okay, what are we looking at in picture B? What particular activity is that? Yeah, okay, partying, could be a concert. Yeah, some kind of light knife clubbing. I think those are all quite good. Can clear your head block. Okay, energetic. So what are the words? Lively, that's great. How else can we describe this kind of atmosphere? Okay, vibrant, very nice. DJ rumbling, I'm not sure about that, but that could be an expression I'm too old to know. Okay, energizing. What do we use? Gathering. I suppose you could say. I'm not sure about that. That's maybe that's more like family. People getting high. Yeah, bustling is probably more about a town. Too loud, yes, okay. Oh, cacophony, oh, very nice, yeah. So that's a noun, but yeah, if you want to describe a really terrible noise, which it would be for me, then definitely cacophony works very well. Noisy, carousing, fantastic. Okay, what activity are we looking at the despair? That's true. Yeah, so football match, Liverpool fans. Oh, sorry. Sad, upset, depressed, heartbroken, disappointed. That's fantastic. Devastating. Okay, you will never walk alone. Shoe, fantastic. Disappointed, loser. Okay, fantastic. Really good expressions there. So if perhaps rather negative on the football, exhausted, yeah. Daniel doesn't like Liverpool. Okay, yeah, just okay. Gloomy, very nice, Kunj. I like that one very much. Okay, and how about the last one? Okay, we're relaxing. Where is the person reading? So that's quite a nice piece of vocabulary. What is he lying in? Some very good activity there. Chilling. Okay, hammock. Good. Joshua and Daniel had that. So lying in a hammock. Tranquil. Oh, bucolic. Very nice, Ludovica. That's fantastic. Calm, harmony, tranquil. Okay, we've got some placid. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, lying on a hammock in the countryside. Very comfortable. Serene. Very nice. Fun. Okay, so now we're actually going to give you some vocabulary. So now you're just going to tell me which picture you think it applies to. Could be more than one. So if we say exhilarating, yeah, I think A and B probably both exhilarating, I would imagine. Definitely A. Not sure about D being particularly exhilarating. Okay, and relaxing. We'd probably talk about, yeah, I think D is probably the only relaxing one, I think, from my point of view. Stressful. Yeah, I think C, losing, being a Liverpool fan, is perhaps a very stressful occupation. Pointless. I guess depending on your point of view, that could be any of them, really. Maybe C. Or B, yes, or B, definitely. Okay, worthwhile. Yes, it certainly depends, Erica, and you're absolutely right. Okay, D, yes, okay. Again, depending on your point of view, that could describe quite a few things, except maybe the football. Dull, how do we feel about dull? We're really hammering football today. Okay, could be, yeah, it could be the football, could be the reading if you find that dull. What would you find annoying out of these ones? Okay, I'm with you, Joshua. I think I would find the clubbing kind of annoying. Certainly, probably the football music as well. Again, depends on your point of view. Okay, fulfilling. Yeah, I think A and D are probably where we're on the same wavelength here, I think, definitely. And life affirming. Okay, yes, conception, I think I definitely agree with you. I think A, you would definitely feel, very fulfilled by doing that. Okay, and reading too. Okay, so again, some more vocabulary there, just if you wanted to add some more adjectives to your descriptions. Okay. Okay, now quite a common issue when we're talking about these descriptive adjectives and talking about feelings is the ing and the ed form of the verb. Okay, so trying to get this sorted. Okay, good. So the first one in this example, I find going to the cinema really relaxing. So what do we use the ing form to describe? Yeah. So what, yes, okay, the situation or the object, okay, is relaxing, okay? And if we talk about relaxed, when do we use relaxed? Okay, very good, Alsu. So you feel relaxed, okay? We're not really describing tense in this case. These are adjectives. We're just describing or attributing this to the situation, ing form, or the person or the emotion, as I've put, for the ed form. Okay, so yes, here the cinema is relaxing. That's the situation. Okay. What about the second one, which would be the correct word here? Okay, if we're describing the book, we're describing the object. Okay, getting a bit, sorry. Yeah, so it's fascinating. Okay, you're not describing your own feeling about it, you're describing the book. So it's fascinating. Okay. All right, and what about the next one? Watching my team play. Okay, very good. So exhilarating experience. The experience, the situation is exhilarating. Okay, very good. And the slightly different one here. I don't like going out clubbing. Definitely don't. Which one is correct? How do we describe? Okay, very good, guys. So in this case, with stress, we have a slightly different form. We have stressed to describe the person, and we have stressful to describe the situation or the activity or the condition. Okay. So let's have a look at it now the other way round. So if we wanted to use the ed form, for example, relaxed. Okay, exhilarating is extremely exciting, extremely thrilling. So if you kind of go on a level of extremity, you could say exciting, thrilling, exhilarating, really, really top way of describing excitement. Okay. Okay, very good one. I feel relaxed after, for example, reading a book or going to the cinema. So definitely talking about your own emotion. Anyone else? What about the fascinated? I'm relaxed, don't worry. That's very good to know, Abdul Majid. It's very good. Okay, cold shower got me really relaxed. Not sure about your preference there, Joshua, but the grammar is completely correct. Okay, and I was fascinated. I am fascinated by her beauty. That's lovely, Farid. What about exhilarated? Fascinated, remember, Kate, if you're describing your feeling. How about exhilarated? Can we use that? Okay, watching my nation's football team. Okay, Anne's one of the few people enjoying football today. Okay, yeah, makes me feel exhilarated. Very good. Moving on to the last one, Arakan, very good. Traffic jam makes me feel stressed. Exhausted is another one of these. Stressed by homework, stressed with the idea of clubbing. I completely agree with you, Caroline. Clubbing makes me stressed. Okay, good. Or, yeah, describing that. Beck said it's exhilarating to watch Chelsea play football, I guess. The IELTS exam makes me feel stressed. I'm sorry, Nada. I do understand the exam is stressful. Okay. So do be careful with those ing, ed forms. It's quite easy to make sure you're getting that one correct. Okay. So let's have a look at some of these common topics. Okay. So even right at the beginning, at the part one, even when the questions are quite simple, really important to give a long answer. Okay, there's no point at which it's good to give a short answer in IELTS. Okay. So imagine if the examiner says, do you prefer spending time with friends or family? You might just say, with my family, or I prefer spending time with my family. Not going to get you a very good mark. You're not showing any language there, any structures, anything else. Okay, so too short. What could we add? How could you give a longer answer in this case? What else could you say? You can say, you don't have to prefer one. You can say that you like both, and maybe you can talk about different situations in which you you know, prefer to be with family or friends. Okay, yeah, so giving examples, talking about how you spend time together, okay, or exactly where or when, things like that. So detail, lots and lots of detail, okay. So we have a nice acronym here to think about when you want to add detail. So we have answer the question, okay. Then, so for example, to tell you the truth, nice introductory phrase, okay. We might choose family as being more important, for example. Then we give a reason, okay. So answer the question, give a reason. So because I'm very busy with work these days, okay. So the next one is the reason. Then we go on to give it a specific example, okay. So we could talk about the evenings, having dinner together. That's a good example of ways that we like to spend time with friends or family. Okay. Then you give an alternative or a second example, something else you like to do. So maybe going for a walk. Okay. And then bring it all together at the end. Okay, that's how I like to spend my free time. So a good long 3 sentences there, all complex sentences. That's a very nice answer. Basic question, you can still give a complex answer to that. Okay, all right. Quality time means spending time with someone and doing something worthwhile with them. So it's not enough just to be with somebody. You have to, you know, you should be doing something good, memorable, interesting that brings you together. So that's quality time. Okay. Oh, there's our acronym. So these are the different areas that you can talk about. So we have AREAS, nice way to remember those different ways of adding more information. Okay. So another common question, what's your favorite hobby? You might just say, I like running. Very good. Alexandra's bored. We've got another half hour, Alexandra. But that's not going to be enough. We need to give some more information. Okay, that's good. Those are all good hobbies, but we really need to add some more information. Okay, so we're going to use our acronym again. So we answer the question. Nice informal way of giving an opinion, I'd say that. Okay, my favorite, what could we put in the gap if we didn't want to repeat the same words? You could say I often do, yep. Okay, could be pastime is very nice, or activity, something like that. Pastime is a good synonym for hobby. Okay, all right, then you give the reason. Okay, I find it really, we want to use one of our good adjectives here. Okay, could be relaxing. That's a very good expression, but we do often say that we do something religiously if we do it like every day and we never miss a session or we never miss a time when we do it. So that's very good language, yeah, okay. Okay, let off steam is quite a nice, well, let off steam is a bit more when you're angry, but yeah, if it kind of helps you lose your anger. Okay, very energetic. Okay. All right, then we give an example. So, for example, in a typical week, so, you know, use these kind of questions, where, when, how often, those type of questions make good details for your answers. So 3 or 4 times, yeah. Or on the other hand, maybe you go to the gym instead, okay, and work out in the gym. So you've got 2 options there, which works very well. Then bring it all together. So yeah, I'm quite a sporty person, so that's what I'll usually do in my free time. Okay, so having that kind of rounding off sentence at the end is quite good. Okay, so you can see highlighted in the red in each case, we're introducing the sentence with some kind of introductory phrase, some kind of linking phrase, which really signposts the answer for the examiner. Really, really important, but also using informal expressions, not formal expressions, okay? We're also using some phrasal verbs there. Can you see the phrasal verbs in that example? I like the pant a lot, 1+. Yeah, go out, Arakan. So we've got go out. Any other? Okay, very good. Go out and work out. Okay, so always good to get phrasal verbs into your answers in the speaking. Hang out would be another one, yeah. And it's quite good. It's very natural when you're speaking. We don't make very deliberate sentences. Usually kind of we hedge our language a little bit by using some kinds of adverbs. So for example, it's probably running. Okay, it's really relaxing. This makes it much more natural and spoken. Okay, all right. And 3 or 4 times, you know, we don't always going to be doing the same one. Yeah, I'm quite, you know, it's all quite vague. It's very natural. You're not being too firm with your answers. Okay, all right. Okay, so another good language form here, which is, it's very natural, but it's not often used, is actually using I'll to talk about habits. Okay, I know we usually think, oh, we do the present simple to talk about habits. But actually it's quite common to say, oh, I'll go out a couple of times, I'll go to the gym sometimes, yeah. So that's quite a nice and less common way to talk about your activities that you do regularly, okay? Okay, so now we're going to move on and talk about part 2, okay? So this is the example that we're going to look at. Some of you may have seen this if you've done speaking tests. It's in the first set. So a person who influenced you as a child. Describing some kind of person is very common for the part 2. So you know, you really want to have some good vocabulary to talk about people, okay? And it could be a different kind of question, but you can still talk about the same person, or you can still use the same vocabulary, okay? So you know that you have 1 minute to prepare before you speak and to make notes. Very important, you know, to use this time, to use it well and plan your writing, your speaking, okay? Otherwise, it's very easy to run out after 30 seconds and kind of go, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a member of your family, Anne. It could be someone, you know, could be a politician, could be an actor, anybody like that, okay? So as long as you plan, you will be able to speak for that 2 minutes, which is longer than you think. And it will have a good form, and you won't be going back and repeating the same thing. Very common mistake with the part 2 is candidates just going, so yeah, it helps me relax, which they said, you know, 20 seconds ago. And then they say again, it helps me relax. And you kind of got this circular, only saying a few things and saying them quite often. So you really want to make sure you're always moving forward in the part 2. You're not repeating your ideas, okay? Will give you better vocabulary, and it will give you a better score for fluency, okay? So ways to plan your short talk. So one of the best things to do is to underline the key words on the task, okay, and use those as headings to talk about. So you've got a kind of divisions, you've got sections of your talk that you can go through, okay. So what keywords would you underline here? Yeah, person. Yeah, it's right, Ludovica. These are just to help you. So their ideas, it's not a task in the sense that you have to complete those bullet points. It is really about you speaking for 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, so exactly, Mohammed, the work questions are really what you're going to describe. So who, what kind of person, what kind of relationship, how they influenced you. So thinking in terms of questions, which you then answer. We looked at this actually in a different webinar that we did specifically on the part 2. You know, have a list of questions, answer those questions. You can even use those as prompts. You can say, well, who was this person? Well, it was my father. Bum, bum, bum. And then, you know, you move on and give some details to that. Okay. Okay, so let's brainstorm that. So thinking of some ideas. So if you had to talk about a person who influenced you as a child, who would you talk about? Which person would you talk about? Could be a teacher, yeah, parents, Steve Jobs, perfect, yeah, your godmother. Okay, as an old teacher, Oprah Winfrey, very nice. Okay, so different one. We thought about my father, okay. Then Tom Hiddleston. I like that, that's good. Don't say Donald Trump, please. I noticed the person's anonymous. Who said Donald Trump? Oh, thank you, Daniel. That's really, really sweet. Thank you. Okay, then you're going to go on to describe that person. So personality descriptions are very, very good. So what kind of adjectives are you going to, positive adjectives are you going to use to describe the person? Okay, oh, lovely, yeah, inspiring, hard worker, frank, kind, humble, safe. Okay, yeah, energetic, a mentor, that's very, very nice. Okay, we've got passionate is lovely, determined, motivated, great words there, okay. We've gone for hardworking and a good sense of humor, or yeah, humorous as Anne put it. And kind of what kind of relationship did you have with this person? So what kind of things did you do together? How did you spend time? Oh, nurturing, Mohammed, that's really good. That's an excellent word to use. Okay, what kind of things did you do with this person who influenced you, or how did you spend your time together? Okay, like a friend. Okay, a bit more detail. Remember, you're going to have are you going to need to give a lot of detail here? So you shared experiences. What specifically did you do with this person? Okay, it could be that you went traveling together. Okay, cooking together, very nice. Yeah, coached me on court, very nice. Okay, would speak for hours on end, phase. Yeah, but it's a really good expression, but it's hours on end. Okay, did your A levels, that's brilliant. Okay, or fishing. We went for going for walks in the countryside. Okay, so remember, always very specific information in the part 2. Otherwise, you're going to run out very, very quickly. Yeah. And in what way did this person influence you? Okay, in what way did they influence maybe how you became as an adult? They built a wall together with Trump, William. Well, it's being built by just ordinary people. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a bit of background noise there. Okay, very nice. So set an example of what we can achieve in life when we are dedicated. I don't know what you're at, but how did they influence you, Kuala? That's what you've really got to focus on. Admirable person, influenced your behavior, that's very good. Okay, work ethics, really nice vocabulary there. Okay, we went on love of nature. You wouldn't really use design with mental faculty, Faiz. That sounds a bit like he's kind of controlling your mind, you know. Oh, lovely, O1+. I used to be reticent before I met him. So someone who draws your personality out would be very good. Or encourage phase, that would be fine. Okay, oops, we need to move forward. So just having a look at this, I'm just going to go through this fairly quickly. So I'd like to talk about my father because, so just an introductory sentence, okay? Then introducing a bit more detail. So let me tell you a little bit more about him. Okay, then we get those words in there. This is really more of a framework. You would be needing to use more detail than this, but just to sort of think about how to organize it and move it through. Okay. And then a nice, really nice sentence structure here. What I admire most about him: made a lot of sacrifices. Okay. So that's a very good piece of vocabulary. Okay. Then used to talk about past expressions. Sorry, this is getting a bit loud, isn't it? They're doing some work next door. Apologies. There's a bit of a building site going on next door. Okay, so just have a look at this. So we talked about plants and wildlife. This had a big impact on me. Encouraged my love of nature. And then this is the reason why I decided to study environmental science. So you've got an end product there, okay? Yeah, a bit of drilling, Arakan. Sorry about that. It's just goes on. We're nearly done anyway. Okay, so think about how you would answer that question, how you would add all of that information together. Okay, but we're going to move on to part 3 now. Okay, which is, again, if you had to describe a person in part 2, you could then be talking more generally about a person in the part 3. Okay, so one very nice thing to do is describe the stereotype and then comment on the stereotype. Maybe you're agreeing, maybe you're disagreeing, but it's quite a good way to talk about different cultures, different types of people. So we can look at some stereotypes here. So which country is that flag representing? You could talk about different religions, Faiz, that would be fine. Okay, yeah, England, followed by Scotland. Very good, Daniel. A bit slower there. Okay, very good, Scotland. And finally, yes, thank you, Australia. Australia, guys, Australia. Okay, so each of those countries, like all countries, has a stereotype. So what's the stereotype of English people? This is all about me now. Tea, I knew that would come up. They like tea, which is true. It's not a stereotype, it's just true. They like to get wasted. Yeah, fair enough, Tanya, fair enough. And vomit. Okay, cricket, a porch. Okay, yeah, I guess we have a lot of porches. England is one part of Britain. Bad taste. Okay, I think we'll move on after that. Okay, how about Scotland? Fish and chips, yes. Oh, I know, Daniel, I'm sorry. Whiskey, bagpipes, beer, kilts. I think whiskey maybe more than beer, but this is Jamie's area. They don't like English people. True, very true. Oh, Scotch. Funny accent. You can't. Okay, and what about being sassy? What about Australia? Remember we're talking about, well, yeah, stereotypes. Think more about adjectives for the people. Yeah, they like being outdoors. That's very good. I think everyone is Chris Hemsworth. Okay, funny lingo, cat, snakes. Their wildlife is, well, yeah, that's true. They do have a lot of and drinking a lot. Yes. Okay. So let's have a look at what we've gone for. Ancestors were criminals, very true. So English people, well, we've said have gone for good manners, which actually nobody said, but there you go. Good man, thank you, Sonny, good manners. Not sure if that's true all the time, so you could talk about that. Scottish people have a reputation for being stingy. Which is a very good word. So let me know if you're not sure about. Not sure about that. Not sure about the British food either. Okay, but a lot of, obviously that's very much a stereotype. Stingy is the opposite of generous. So being very careful with your money is stingy. Okay. And then we've said Australians are famous for being laid back and relaxed. Okay. But again, probably not true of everybody. Okay. But these kind of expressions like are supposed to be, are famous for being, or have a reputation for being, are very, very good ways of introducing those kind of stereotypes, or anything that's, is a given, is a general view that people hold, but is, a bit of a generalization. And then you can give your own. Are known for, Bruna, that's oh, hi Bruna, that's another thing. Yeah, it's known for having good manners. Make sure you use the gerund after the preposition there. Okay. So, have we got time for this, or should we move on? Jamie, tell me what you want. You're muted, so I don't. Should we have a few very quick stereotypes? What are people in your country stereotyped? Yeah. Tell us what is general hats with ear flaps. It's quite an interesting one. Anyone else? People think we eat all the time. Yeah. Drunk 24/7. What to be old school? Very nice. Dragons. Okay. Italians talk very loudly. That's good. Road rage in Taiwan. Okay. Speak with their hands a lot. That's very good. Yeah. Dance a lot. Okay. Fantastic. Good. Very good. Yeah. And you can say people think we're obsessed with something, and yeah, actually we are, and that's true. Okay. So that was quite a long one. So that's the end of that, and we can take a few questions now.
All right, thank you very much, Annalie. Thanks for that. Well done. And thank you everyone for your great suggestions there and your answers. That's been really, really interesting to see, especially some of your stereotypes. So yeah, great job. We will have a bit of time now to look at your questions in a Q&A. So, but first, Annalie, if you could go to the next slide so I can just share the link.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So you can see on the slide here, we have a few different links to additional resources that we offer. We've got our Facebook page where you can find the recording for all our webinars will be posted on there. You can also see upcoming webinars as well on our website, IELTSonlinetest.com. We have a webinar on Monday on writing task 2, academic, agree and disagree, and also a webinar on Thursday next week on formal letter writing for general training. So you can check those out. We also have an evaluation service where you can book some time with a speaking or writing examiner, and they can give you very detailed feedback on your performance. So feel free to check those out if you like. Bruna, your test is on Saturday. Good luck. Good luck with your test. And you can find out via our website. It has all the details for presenters and the times. You can register on there. So, and same for Shika as well. Good luck, Shika. But good luck to everyone that's having their test over the weekend.
Nada. A lot of people having their test.
Yeah, please tell us how you get on. If you get a good result or not so good, let us know. You can drop us a message in the Facebook or via the website. It'd be great to hear from you. I think we've got time to discuss some of your questions just now. So first of all, question from 1+6T. Annalie, 1+6T is asking, how can I paraphrase the question when I answer the question? So if you hear the examiner tell you a question, what's a way to answer without repeating the question back?
Well, I think one of the main things to do is to go into detail, because then you're going to be using your own vocabulary. And to be honest, to give yourself a few seconds to think, it's quite common for a person to kind of repeat the question as a way of thinking about it. Well, what do I think about university education being free? Well, and then in my opinion, but your detail, you won't be just using the words from the question. You'll be bringing together all that really specific, detailed vocabulary, topic related vocabulary that you can throw in there and really impress the examiner.
Yeah, definitely. A question from Shika, who has asked, last year an examiner escorted me outside the room and said it was interesting speaking with you. Although I wanted to reply to him, but words didn't come out of my mouth. Will this be counted against me in my final band? This conversation outside of the testing room.
No, I mean, it shouldn't have any influence at all. I'm quite surprised that an examiner did that. I wouldn't say that that would be something that they should be doing. And, if you don't get the score that you believe you should have got, you could probably maybe make some inquiries about that. But I really don't think that's going to have any influence at all. Yeah. Because it wouldn't be, remember that your speaking test's recorded, and that recording can be listened to by a second examiner, a senior examiner, who, will be able to give you a mark based just on that.
Definitely. I think examiners are asked to be polite, so they might just be saying, it was nice to meet you, but there's no requirement to talk more outside of the testing room at all.
Okay.
So a question here from Salfa, who is asking, may I answer, say the question is about your current hobby. What's your current hobby? May I answer with my past hobbies? So, for example, I used to like football, but nowadays I play basketball.
Yeah, I mean, just make it clear to the examiner, flag it up to the examiner what you're doing. You could say, well, these days I'm really, really busy with work or study, but I used to, blah, blah, blah. And then you go on to talk about that. So I would explain it first. But yeah, there's no problem about doing that. They just want to get that bank of English from you in order to be able to give you a score. So just be clear about it. It's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, a similar question as well from Written in the chat, actually. Can we ask the examiner to change the question if we're not comfortable with it?
You can't ask them to change. There are certain questions, for example, family, where they will say, like in the part 1, I'd like to talk to you about family. Is that okay? Or are you all right with that? Because obviously there could be some sensitive issue there. But other than that, you don't have any possibility of changing the topic. You just have to go with what you are given, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Excellent. I think we have time for one more question, guys. So let's see. We have a question from Shika, who's asking, I have my speaking test scheduled for tomorrow. Would you like to provide any last-minute advice?
Okay, well, good luck, first of all. Keep going, very important. Give long answers to all of the questions. Structure your answers, by using the introductory. They need to be easy to follow. That's very important. Don't speak too fast. Just speak steadily. That will be much better. Good, steady, even pace is what they're looking for. It's not about speaking really, really quickly. Brian had a question there. He's kind of begging for the answer, so can I just answer? if you go through everything you've made notes for, Brian, just kind of continue logically in that area. To be honest, it doesn't really matter if you sort of then move on to a slightly different topic. But a really key thing is to give lots of detail, lots and lots and lots of detail about every aspect of what you're talking about. That is really the only way to get that 2 minutes.
Great. Excellent. Thank you so much, Annalie, for answering the questions and for the presentation today. So thank you very much. We're going to have to wrap up now, but thank you everyone for joining us, for asking the questions, for taking part in the webinar. It's been great having you on board. It's been nice to see lots of new students joining us today as well. So welcome in. We have a couple more webinars happening next week. You can find the details of them on our website, so feel free to check that out. And best of luck to everyone taking their test over the weekend. Fingers crossed for you. So thank you very much again. Thank you, Annalie.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Good luck. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.